and it's already all in place. So if you have to update between the two,
Alrighty, let's give this another quick try. We'll see if we can get this to work. But meanwhile, better late than never.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia.
okay. Yeah, very late. And I'll let you guess who's already texting me about it's only buffering. It's only buffering. Where's the show?
A dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
I'll let you
of
guess.
Course, greetings everybody. This is Laz. And of course,
this is Jack.
Listening to Jack for the last 5 minutes. How's everybody doing?
And Casey and Skirta.
That's right.
And I had to go get a horsey.
Having a little difficulties here. My control over the computer is not working for some reason. And don't know what happened there. I had to do it manually. So give me a second. We had a patch right before this all happened, which of course caused a little bit of chaos on my side. But we are back with you. And today is, March 1st.
Tuesday,
2016.
March 1st.
That's right.
Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday. You need to get out and go vote.
For those places that have the polls open, that's right. Get out there. It is voting day. Find out who it is that's going to be nominated to run for the office of president. Going to be interesting to see out there. But meanwhile, as I'm loading in, how you guys doing today? Sorry about the little
I wanted to do a little politicking real quick, and I urge everybody to vote for Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Yes, Cthulhu for dictator.
Vote Pablo.
Yeah.
Had to throw it in there. Kind of politic, you know. Got to vote.
Yeah. Yep. Vote for Pablo and vote for Cthulhu. Or if you want to go back to an old school, you might like this one. I don't know if you ever saw this one or not. Cerberus for dictator.
Sir Bruce. I don't recall that.
The aardvark. Cerberus.
Cerberus.
The aardvark.
I thought you said Sir Bruce.
I used to have that T-shirt as well.
Is somebody's informing me that somebody's sister has a birthday, or are they pulling my leg?
I have no idea where that's at.
I'm getting this in chat here. My private chat. Yes, I don't know. Nobody's commenting, so I guess I will leave that one alone for right now. But meanwhile, new patch just coming out hot off the digital updates. Patch number 387. And of course, with my reboots, I lost everything I had up there. So you want to toss me a link to that real quick?
Patch notes for 387 coming your way.
Thank you. I'll give this up on the board for folks. Alpha President.
Hey Laz, your video stream isn't going.
It isn't going. It looks like it's going. Let me see. Let me take a look out there. Again, we just rebooted, we just started, so it may take a minute for it to kick in. But we'll verify that real quick. See what it looks like from our end. Looks like most of the radio problems have been resolved. Jack, have you been able to listen to the radio?
I have not checked today.
Okay.
And, I'll check right now. Wait,
now streams are up and looking good. They're there. I see them.
I'm waiting for the stream to load.
Yeah, now both of them are up and running. I see them fine. They're on the website. Some just may take you a minute or you hit refresh out there. Again, like to welcome everybody to today's show. A lot of stuff coming up this week. We have interview with Star Long on Friday afternoon. This will be following the postmortem, which is coming up on Thursday, and we're expecting a lot of good stuff there.
This is a silly question. Are we going to do the Star Long Menage a Trois, or is it just going to be you and Star?
Well, I was thinking last time I wanted you to be here, but I think you were off gallivanting someplace like Hawaii last time.
Yeah, I was.
And then the other interview I think I did, you were off gallivanting in Hawaii someplace. Seems to be a trend.
I am not in Hawaii this time.
So yes, I was thinking we would do the Google Hangout thing, where three of us could be there, because as you know, and as many people who watch the show and our followers, sometimes I don't come across exactly right, and Jack has this way with words. I call him the English teacher, for good reason.
Well, I used to be.
Yeah, for good reason. He's always correcting my punctuation, telling me I spelled shit wrong, telling me, I should have put that in a better way, I guess. And some of the ideas that we talk about, Jack understands more in depth of how my thought process works and how everybody else is interpreting all this. And I think you'll be able to convey some things that I may have some difficulty during that, conveying across the Star. So I was thinking actually doing that and get the three of us together. This way we can actually converse as well as just not question and answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And make it a little bit more interactive for the folks as well as us. So that was what I was looking to do. But we'll talk about that more.
Did you hit?
Go ahead.
I was going to say that Justin just sent me a message. Buffering. Not connected.
Don't know. Tell her to try. I guess. How is she listening? Is she listening through the app, or is she listening through the website? That's going to be a question. One of them bugs. Not everything's fixed, from what I'm understanding, but for the most part, people are.
It's the 109. It's the 109 problem again.
Yeah, click on the radio. Tell me if you hear it. That's one of the ways I'm going to know. Real quick.
Yeah, I just did the. I did the Winamp version, and let's just say the 109 did not connect, but the 28 did.
Right, but that's the other feed. But even then, that should work. We should probably give her that feed just for her. But that doesn't tell us when we have problems then on the proper feed.
Yeah.
The radio app should be doing the right, and if anything, go to NBNN, WORFB.rocks on your phone, Android device, and click on Trouble Listening. See if the player there works for you and fixes your problems. I don't know if she can't hear us. It was buffering.
I'm trying to do the listen to my radio right now on my phone.
Now that should, for some reason, mysteriously fix the problem. That's been the workaround for right now until we figure out what exactly is causing. Now, like I said, it seems to only happen with people who are trying to listen in game, or who are connected to the game, which is really, really weird.
I was going to say that on my phone, it's not playing either.
But you're not using the app. You're trying to play.
Oh, wait. It is actually working on.
Yeah.
It is working on my phone now.
Yeah. So I know we're broadcasting. What's happening out there? I just don't know what. We're trying to get a grasp on it. But meanwhile, patch notes.
Okay, let me bring up patch notes real quick. So, let's see. Patch notes. So, this is brand new release. It just released right before the show went live. So Testudo's no longer makes friendly NPCs aggressive. The discharge spell tooltips have been fixed. Lava damage was increased. So now you go into the red water and it will probably kill you quickly. Recall scrolls was added to the glyph list. So I guess that means you can actually add it to your combat bar and some of the other things. Removed invisible object from the wooden plaster 3-story row house that was blocking the entrance.
Yeah,
A wagon. Yeah. A wagon that was intersecting with a player lot in Owl's Head was moved. Solania Catacombs now has some additional onks, so that way you can, at the start of the approach to the hidden chamber, fixed more creature sounds to connect them to sound effects volume slider. Root spell now working properly against all targets. Remember, that means that huge monsters like the dragon, if you try to root them, it is going to immediately break that root. Good afternoon, Jade.
I think you heard her over mine.
Oh, over on TeamSpeak?
Yes, over on TeamSpeak. I don't have them pumped in over here. I should. We are on Discord, folks. Go to NBNN.info, put your name in, and come and join us.
Yeah, and I had to mute you to get you to the right place. Okay, fixed offhand equipped slot getting messed up after using two-handed weapons. Spectral Mines updated the broken door and key. The Necropolis updated broken doors and locks. Shardfall discoveries replaced old icons with new Shardfall discovery icons on Novia Overworld. Removed invisible lava from Verdanish Shardfall. That's pretty funny. Invisible lava. See, I think they should actually put the invisible lava back in game, just because if you've ever been in a lava field, you know that those rocks are hot as shit.
That's right.
And they will melt everything. So,
Do not step on the rug, it's lava. Don't step on the lava.
Yes, as Casey's saying in the don't step on the rug, it's lava. Yes. So
everybody played the lava game as a kid. At least I hope they did, you know. It was always fun.
I know.
Jumping from pieces of furniture to pieces of furniture and driving mom and dad crazy.
Yeah. The carpet will kill you. Ah! Let's see. Fixed errors that were causing NPCs on player lots to load inconsistently. Novia Map Atlas, so it can now once again hold maps. And speaking of Cthulhu, we are now listening to the Call of Cthulhu. So fixed block and parry, so they now should work as expected. Updated the attack messages to correctly show the block or parry as well. Remember, vote Cthulhu. Okay, increased rate at which EXP get applied by a factor of 4. We increased the rate at which players gain experience, but not the rate at which it was applied. Result was people using gust balls and accumulating huge amounts of XP. This will help with that. What? Attacking a gust ball would actually increase your XP?
No, not
Whoa.
that I knew.
I think you just worded that wrong.
Yeah, see,
yeah,
a lot of that's going on around here lately, and that's a slip. I don't know anybody, because we would all been bashing on gust balls all day and all night if we were gaining experience from it.
So
he's talking about your skills gaining the experience, I think.
That was part of the idea, I thought, was as long as you had the accumulated points, you know, whatever you were doing, as long as you're swinging that sword, with the free attack, I should be able to swing at nothing in the midair and gain experience. I don't need a gust ball with free attack. I shouldn't need to use a gust ball or anything else for that if I want to practice. So that's interesting to see. We'll have to ask about that one. We'll have to get some clarification on that.
Well, for that as well, I say that like either swinging at midair or swinging at a gust ball should be the old UO training dummy, where the maximum it gets your skill gain up to is like 30.
It was like 30 or 35. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And that way, that should fix it.
But yeah, we'll have to get clarification on that. That's one of those things that we're going to be doing on Friday. We're going to look for clarification on wording, perception, how people think about things they read here. How much people read.
Friday, we're mostly talking about housing.
Yes.
Okay, so mostly housing. So reducing the duration on all move speed debuff skills based on strength of the target by 1 second per 50 strength. Okay, so so if you debuff a person and I have a lot of strength, then it will reduce my speed debuff. Okay.
It's mainly for
But if
bosses
I
and such,
Yeah.
I think. But it's good
Yeah.
also for PvP.
Yeah, because I think 50 strength is pretty much near the cap for players, isn't it?
I have no idea.
That's a good question. When you look at that,
Because I don't know if any players actually have 200 strength, so
we'd have to ask Demo.
so that
Demo
yeah,
would be able to
crafting
answer
tools are
that
no
for us.
longer yeah.
Seen it over 100.
It's like Themo, what's your strength? But I think the usable strength used to be capped at like 50 or something like that. In all usable stats were
Gotcha,
capped
gotcha.
before. So crafting tools are no longer tied to decks. Also, if anyone has crafted a deck using crafting tools, those tools will not be equipped when the deck is equipped. So crafting tools will no longer be equipped whenever you're using a deck. Building block decorations can now once again rotate on their axis. Held items will now be considered for repair at crafting stations. Fixed times for immolation visual effects to disabled obsidian 4 damage volume due to performance issues. What? Why do that?
Well, it was a performance problem. They're telling us that.
So it's a performance problem. The
It's a
obsidian
performance
forge is
problem.
a special thing, and yeah.
I'm sure they're
So that
working
means they're
on
gonna take
it,
our
but until
doors.
then, they just disabled it. Yeah, I dig it. I dig
They're
it.
they're gonna take our doors off the map because of performance issues. Ring ring.
Ring, ring,
Some
ring. Yeah.
high level creatures and mini bosses in new locations. Broken mass in inventory in bag mode. It's been fixed. Fixed creatures playing death animations multiple times, so no longer will you kill a wolf, watch it stand up and die again, stand up and die again, stand up and die again, stand up and die again. Missing textures on the Baron Frigate fixed an issue where dying an item would also dye the base item color of any other item of the same type until the game is reloaded, and disabled the Guild Chapter House checkbox for non-owners. Disabled locked doors toggle for Kindred and lower. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we're still lacking on a little permissions, but we're not going to delve into that. And of course, over the weekend, build number 386 came out. There was a couple things there. I don't know if we want to touch on those while we're here.
Even the log stuff, I think, is kind of silly.
I do know they made the fancy kilt a little fancier.
Yeah, they did add a something to it, but I don't know if I'm actually going to buy one of those.
I've got one already. I've got a couple already.
Yeah, I want to, but I don't know.
Although this character's not wearing it right now, and I do have one for him. But I just love that we got kilts. That's just
Yeah.
look at those legs. I gotta love that.
You like looking at my legs?
Look at them sexy legs.
Hey, gentlemen.
You know, and one of these
Yes.
days I'm going to do the shit wearing a kilt. Yes, Jade.
I think you missed one of the most important part of the patch notes. Is the fact that if I have 5 red dresses in my backpack and I dye one pink, they do not all turn pink. So yay for the ladies.
Yeah.
Hey, I've ran into that issue as well.
That was until you log back into the game, though.
Right, I had to log in and log out if I wanted to take a
Right,
particular
right.
style and dye it different colors.
Yeah.
So is that fixed in that patch? Is what they said?
Yeah, That's
yeah,
what they said.
that was the next to last thing that I read.
It's,
No, but
I know that was a pet peeve of all the ladies out there, not being
well,
able to
one
find
of the
right
pet peeves,
dyed, dress.
one of the pet peeves for the ladies was if you stand up again. We don't have any female characters out here to demonstrate the kilt wearing for us, and I can't turn around there. Was the fact that the kilt on the women comes mid-thigh, so it's a mini
lot
skirt.
shorter.
And so they are going to be adding a longer kilt into the game.
Really?
So you'll have a short and a longer one. Yeah, and that was in one of the threads.
I didn't see
Cool.
that one.
We can always use as many clothing choices as we can lay our hands on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a lot more of that once we get the final wipe and the first release out the door. And once they do that, they're gonna ramp up, clothing, armors, add-ons, all sorts of goodies. But I think their focus is mainly, let's get this thing done. So
Gotta be able to look good.
Yeah. Well, you know my outlook. I use Fernando's outlook. It's better to look good than to feel good.
Okay, I'm laggier than
And
snot in the
you
air.
look
My God.
marvelous. Now, so many canes. There's only 2.
Yeah,
Somebody
2 cans.
in our chat
Everybody's got canes.
was asking for pipes.
Yes, I've heard the cry for pipes out there and smoking materials. People would like to smoke with their ale in taverns. Something that...
it's going to be funny when people are say this is a no smoking establishment.
Hey, well, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Again, I've seen it done. We did it back in our old UO shard.
Well, I'm not very impressed with that place anyway.
Yeah, we had wizard weed, and when you took one
I know,
out
I
and you were
liked it,
smoking
but-
you could see a little smoke wafting
maybe I'll
off
go
the
back
top. Hey, it's Phone Central here today. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's patch notes for the recent release here. Of course, these guys constantly hammering on the keyboards, fixing the bugs, fixing the patches, and all that good stuff, keeping us up to date. What do we want to
Remember,
next?
one of our responsibilities as players right now is to report bugs. And so if you come across a bug, please make sure and just do a /bug in game, and that will actually launch your web browser along with all of your system information, so that way you can type it in and choose the appropriate form.
Yes. It's very easy to report a bug when you're in game, when you see it. They make it as simple as possible.
Bugs.
Bug. Speaking of bugs, stand-up corner from yesterday. And actually,
We can do that.
I love what he did with yesterday's
I cannot
stand-up
shut up the
corner.
immolation, and I cannot shut up the dog.
You
I have
can't
the
stand
master
immolation? Oh. Well, you kill the dog. That's how you shut the dog up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that live?
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Oops, sorry,
okay.
gentlemen. I have the master volume all the way down. The immolation is just like busting my eardrums.
Well, that used to be all fire spells would like sound like a cannon going off every time you cast one.
They shooting.
Now, Kendrick says, speaking of pipes, what about bagpipes? Where's our bagpipes?
Yeah.
Is Highlander?
Hey,
Or
Now,
the
are
only
you-
one?
Are you ready to talk about the stand-up corner from the Bisextus?
Yes, from the Intercalor Day, February 29th, 2016.
Yes. Technically known as Bisextus.
Bisextus, he called it Intercalor Day.
Yeah.
As you note.
So, if you notice, Fletcher Kinnear, new employee setup. So we do have new artists over at Portalarian.
Yes,
So
we
his
do.
name is
Welcome,
Fletcher.
Fletcher.
Welcome. Yeah, Fletcher lives. Kevin is working on kilt bugs and male mesh mappings.
I cannot. I turned everything off.
Okay, yeah. And the fire will still sound. Leo is working on creature prefab sound effects bugs.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah, Matt's working on belly dance and virtue emotes. Reed is working on Ardora's Castle. Yeah. Ardora's Castle Collision and Connect. Yeah, it's supposed to, yes, you are.
That's the
And the Night Player Home Collision. No, she's on voice activation, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, since he misspelled night, I'm going to mispronounce it. Connect Player Home Collision. Over in design, Dan is working on the Quell Region Adventures and released 27 bugs. Finn was working on bugs and playtesting. Keith was working on scenes and released 27 work. Richard was working on Skrek. Scott was working on story testing and Malice and PCs. Steve was working on Malice and Brittany. Brittany.
Working on Brittany.
I know. Yeah. Jason was working on the Weekend Server Watch and bugs.
Bug.
Joaquin Wizard Smoke is working on bugs. Yeah, and playtesting. One and Only was working on bugs.
Bug.
Burning Toad was working on build stuff and patches. Tassilo is working on patches, pledge and user accounting, and player-owned town form upgrades. Zach was working on bugs and released 27 fixes. Over in QA, James was working on sanitary report and regression and bug forums. Michael was working on general quality assurance and account services. Production management and other group was Chris was working on bugs in meetings and playtestings. Dallas was working on updated the avatar week metrics and weekend watch.
Metrics.
Michael was working on Metric Boulevard. Michael was working on new player owned town template and bugs. Lord British was working on Jira In and Out.
In and out.
In and Out Burger. Chaos was working on bugs
Bugs.
and patch notes support and IT. Star was working on Jira triage and forums and weekend watch. So you just like the intercalar day, didn't you?
I do. I loved it. I love how he put that. It's intercalar day. How many people actually pay attention to that?
It would have been funnier if he called it the
Next
bisextus.
So once I finish up the design for the NBNN shot glasses, we're gonna have to get them into players' hands, and every time bugs is said, we're gonna have to have a shot with them.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Start saying bugs.
But, we have a
The-
lot
the
of
por-
drunk
the-
people
the
on
port-
our
the
hands
Portalarium
in the
drinking
afternoons
game.
around here. And the way those
Yeah, the
guys
Portalarium drinking game.
those guys would never get any work done afternoon.
I just sit here and bug.
Bug.
Yeah.
Bug. Now, also coming up, there's a couple of Hobloth announcements out there from our friend Rustic Dragon.
Rustic Dragon. Oh,
Rustic
yeah.
Dragon
So,
got your favorite guy showing up one day there, the Warren Spector.
yeah, so Warren Spector will be doing a Q&A at Hobloth 3. So if you are interested in meeting Warren Spector and possibly having him sign some things, you can register for
Underworld
Hobloth.
signature I don't have.
I'm not worried about signatures.
Yeah, no. It's,
The only thing I even have signed from Lord British are coasters from one of the hangouts.
Some
Coasters from
nerds
the Old
player
Divines.
hangouts.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
Jack was out
And
there.
someone
proving
needs
that
to
if
work on that, the March one.
Yes, Jack was out there proving if you put something in front of Lord British to sign, a Sharpie automatically appears and it gets signed, whether it's a coaster or a napkin. And that's how he got his coasters.
I was able to get him to sign the flyer for the fundraiser they did for a certain presidential candidate.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Cthulhu. Yeah.
Vote Pedro.
We need to get him to sign I endorse Cthulhu for president.
I'm working on memes from and things from the devs for we endorse Casey's balls. We don't put them in the mouth.
Yeah, the Casey's balls meme. I enjoy putting Casey's balls in my mouth.
Exactly.
Chocolate salty balls.
Yeah.
No, not chocolate. They're like meaty and cheesy and delicious.
From under. Okay, before we go totally.
Now, are they closely shorn balls, or are they a little bit like
They're
Yes.
various sizes. All of them are generally kind of round or oblong shape.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's my breakfast balls.
Yeah. So what else are we supposed to be talking about?
So, yeah, he's got, I was going to say, back on the Kabbalah. Of course, you know there's fighting practice going on Sundays in Austin.
Yes.
Thought
Sunday
something,
is
for the locals.
yeah. So Sundays, if you are in the Austin area, you will need to message on Facebook Rustic Dragon, and he will send you his address. And we are doing fighter practice out at his place. So he is working on your fencing skills.
What if I
And
don't
giving you
have
homework to do.
Facebook, but I have his address?
Is,
Then you message him and say, hey, should I come over to fencing practice? And then you can realize that at this most recent one, we actually had 5 little mini melees, and I won 4 of them.
nice.
Yeah.
And,
So, but that was me against Sienna Thorne and Blake Blackstone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
wait,
So it was
hold
a
on.
2-on-1.
And then also he put something out there about he placed an order for Quest something. I gotta look that up real quick. Something is finished out there, and he sent it out
He
to.
Finished up the form for inputting requests,
Quest.
and then if you were unable to access you forgetting your password, he's actually set it up so that you can reset your password.
Ah, okay, cool. Very cool indeed. Now, of course, we've got the post-mortem coming up on Thursday. Do we think we want to delve into a couple questions today, Jack, or do we want to save that for mostly tomorrow? Delve in and see if anybody's having problems finding housing or any of the usual suspect questions out there.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to put that question on there just for you, okay?
Are there going to you should ask if there's going to be enough places to place
Yeah.
their
Is
house.
there going to be enough lots for
Yeah,
everybody
that-
to place?
Yeah, I'm having some problems finding my a place to place my house. Will there be enough for me to place when after final wipe?
Will I be forced to
What
live
the-
in a player-owned town?
I thought that
Yeah.
the number was supposed to be that there was going to end up being 30% of the lots being available.
We're being very
Well,
facetious here.
we're being sarcastic.
Yes.
Well, there's going to
you know
be
the answer
30% of the
is-
lots sold available, but they're going to be in open loot PvP areas.
As a
Yeah.
newcomer,
I was
to
talking
the
about in
team, Schroeder.
NPC towns.
Yeah, but
Do
as
what?
a newcomer, one of the things we joke about is every month somebody seems to always post a question: are there going to be enough? I can't find a place to live, and we laugh because it's like
they
did you
didn't look in it.
Did you?
Not only did you look, it's answered every time,
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's answered every month after month, in and out. So it's
I
become a
gotcha.
big running joke. Yeah, are we gonna
Yeah.
see it? So Jack's joking. He's gonna put it in there just to appease me, just so we can get a laugh out of it. 59 questions questions and comments already up here.
Yeah, a lot of this is people replying to other questions.
Correct.
If you look at the first one, it's like you've got will we be able to bind to a scene versus just a lot or town crier? Was one of the things I enjoyed most about being able to have my own private bind spots. And then it's like, with Sean going, you can blind at the town crier also, which I believe brings you to at the scene entrance. But he's specifically talking about scenes and not the towns.
Right.
So he wants to bind to an adventure scene. And I think that answer is going to be no. And for reasons of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want people teleporting right to, graph gem mines just to make it easier.
Yeah.
And then, binding back, I can see.
And I'm hoping that their answer for that is a definitive no. But if you think about that, 59 questions, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 questions right there, or it's 4 comments.
Yeah.
Right there for that one question. So then equip maiden, since we are able to have up to 3 homes, shouldn't we be able to bind to all 3 homes? That's one where it's like, you know what? I would love to be able to zone or recall to all of my properties, but at the same time, one of the things that they've talked about before multiple times is regional economies, and it becomes self-defeating if I can just go from plot to plot to plot to plot by essentially bypassing the entire map.
Now, some people have said that wouldn't be fair to people that didn't have multiple homes. And, of course, there are several arguments back and forth. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean...
Whereas you can buy multiple homes in-game if you work for it. So that argument becomes invalid. Just because you may start with them doesn't mean people can't acquire and obtain them. On a point, on a note. But, I'm with the one bind point. The town crier is... I actually like the town crier a little better, depending on the scene. If you bind to the town crier, have we tested that? If we bind to the town crier here in Owlhead, do we go to the front of the scene or do we go to the town crier? Do we know the answer to this yet?
Well, let's go check it out real quick. I mean, we've got nothing but 15 minutes left, and it only takes a minute and a half to get to
my lot here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm bound out.
I'm bound to my lot in Owl's Head.
Okay, so I'm going to let you do that.
And you never actually noticed what I actually called my horsey.
I didn't know you had a horsey. I always see Shroud.
You didn't see the white horse I was off. Didn't see the white horse I was off the lot?
White foal?
Yeah. Yeah. That is no longer on screen for you.
Well, you will be in a second again. Come on. Got a little hung up.
So I am now bound to the entrance to Owl's Head.
So is that what it says?
Yeah, I have bound your recall point to the entrance of this town. So let me go ahead and recall. So you like glue?
Yeah, see, I love the color and the sparkles paying homage to Ultima Online. Nice new, not too obnoxious, but just it reminds you of where you came from and what it's all about.
What sparkles are you talking about?
The blue, color that comes around you with the white sparklies.
That's from my cloak.
No.
Or are you talking about when I was recalling?
Cast, yeah.
I think it needs to look like transporter.
You remember when it used to happen more in a teleport spell or a gate spell. The blue gate would open up. Wasn't actually.
I remember the blue gate, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's a throwback to the blue gate. Recall.
It's definitely to the entrance to the town, and that's about it.
I see him all the way down there with his white horse.
I guess I'm going to have to bind to the Crown Town Crier here since I can't bind to this lot.
No, only the owner of a lot can bind to the lot. We've already tested that.
And we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
But Casey's still miffed about it. The one thing, if you actually pay attention to my cloak, it actually gives off a bluish glow around it, as well as the red cloaks give off a reddish glow. So if you're wearing a cloak right now, it does give off a glow. So let's see. Then from there, can you push the ability to choose a different player-owned town, zone, and points ahead of the post-wipe schedule? It is quite a run from the entrance of some zones before you can even tell if there is a town in there. Well, that would be up to the people building the town and the template.
And the choices they
that
make.
they're using.
And we're going to be covering
Yeah.
that in depth on Friday if they don't cover it some on Thursday as well. Another
Yeah.
big thing to cover out there.
It would be nice if the town owner could also place where he wants the town crier to be.
Now that would be
Like our-
handy. That would be handy, and we can
Yeah.
discuss that on Friday as well.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's probably all going to be tied together the way I see it. If you're going to be able to
Oh, yeah.
choose an entrance point, then the town crier is going to be at the main entrance point or somewhere within, reasonable eye shot, so that when you enter the scene, one of the first things you'll see, like when you come into my island scene or my underground scene, you're right near the town crier. Now, in the Pack Slayer template, and I understand that town crier is all the way down by the docks, and
Well,
I can see
even the Grasslands template, it's way down by the docks. And if you talk about a run, when I first logged into the Grasslands template, there was no town crier, so it's like, where is he? I spent an hour looking for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so will we be able to see via overhead map an indicator that shows various activities, i.e. active PvP events, anything else? Cool PvP is extremely hard to find sometimes, and I'd like to look at the map and see from people are mixing it up over there, overworld map. So a scene where there's active PvP engaged, I guess that he wants like some sort of animation for over a town of some sort, and I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking.
And then let's see. Any chance we can have a violin added to the game at some point? Yes,
I like
eventually.
that. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. We need more fiddles.
Or fiddle, even better.
Fiddle and a violin are the same thing.
Banjos, man.
I
Well,
would,
see,
I would argue that.
See, it needs to be referenced as a fiddle because the person asking the question is Deliverance.
As again, I would argue that a
Fiddles
fiddle and
and
a violin,
banjos.
Actually, first, bass strings. I don't know.
I guess it's the same, but it's different. Same but different. Registered trademark of Android. But moving quite along, the violin was a nice thought, and I thought there was already plans to add more strings and more wind instruments on down the line here. I thought we've been already told that.
Yeah, there are at some point in time. I had to post that in Discord for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The English teacher.
Same
at
damn
work
thing.
over here.
Same damn thing. Yeah.
Same
why
but different.
are items? Yeah. Why are items like dyes so expensive and difficult to acquire for such cosmetic item that offer avatars more personality? It seems to me like getting a look at what the item would look like shouldn't cost 250 gold per attempt when in the UO. You could just buy dyes in a dye bucket for 10 gold pieces
Absolutely.
and color to your heart's content.
And that's
Well,
what we're
for-
trying to avoid. It's the pitfalls
It
of
is-
everybody running around with 16 million colors, and you never know what the heck's coming next.
Well, for one, since you are crafting the colors, it is a labor-intensive process. If you've ever actually seen people really dyeing things, as in some of those places where they attempt to do some of the things like they did in the Middle Ages, dyeing things is not exactly easy.
No.
So,
Native American
and
villages with brains and berries.
I
yeah.
don't know. When was the last time you tried to make some dye? I mean, aside from some homemade finger paints, dye is not something easily made. Yeah.
And that was also a sign of wealth.
Well,
I mean,
prestige,
so-
office, etc., etc. Yes. So, and again, not easy to craft. I was talking with somebody, I think it was Koopa, was talking that you can't create any more royal elderberry dye until you use the previous one you made. Is that right? You can only make
I believe
one
so.
dye at a time?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense. I mean, I understood it with the...
Well, actually, it's the immortality fruit that
Well, that's what I thought.
regenerates. Yeah, it's the immortality fruit that you have. You grow it, you get the berry or whatever,
Right,
and you
and that's what
cannot
I
grow
said.
another one until you actually consume it. So, yeah.
Exactly what I said. But he says that when you make a dye with the royal elderberry, you can't make another one until you actually physically use the dye. So it even stops you from selling the dye, because if somebody doesn't use it, they don't get the seed back. And I haven't tested that. I'll test that later on today just to see if that's actually true.
That one we definitely need to. How many avatars have completed all 17 grand tours? They would actually have to go looking for that information.
Yes, they would. But we'd all love to know answer to that. I'd love to know the answer.
I know that I only did 15.
And I'd love to know
There were
the
2
numbers,
hats that I actually skipped intentionally.
because we'd love to know exactly how many of everything been claimed, just to put a reference on it and be able to calculate the rarity of some of those hats out there.
We know that the lowest collected, or it used to be that the lowest collected at 700 or so of them was the Cavalier hat. All the others have in excess of, the very first hat only had like 700 people that did it. The other one that may be that rare is going to be the Virtue Goggles, because people couldn't figure out how to get to the bottom of a certain mine.
Yes.
Get through some ghosts. And I managed to do it on 5 level 5 characters.
Yeah, I managed to get it done on a bunch of characters. It wasn't that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't impossible. Let's see. We can skip that one. What are we going to do to prevent macroing of skills?
Well, that's been a hot topic out there as well.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it's a hot topic is because they're partnered with Razer, and they promote Razer products, which of course are built and promote key binding, macroing, and stuff built into the hardware. So very good question. I'm going to be watching that.
That being said,
Yeah, that one is
between macroing and unassisted, or
What's that?
he did macro. There's a huge
Well,
difference
okay.
between unattended macroing and macroing, for one.
Well, there's 200
so-
schools on this. Some people think it's all the same. Some people think one's okay, one's not. Some people think...
so
Yeah.
I have a hypothetical for you, Casey. Say that I am sitting at my computer and I launch a macro, but I am not paying attention to my game. I am instead watching a movie in full screen mode on my computer. Am I unassisted macroing or am I attended macroing?
You're not attending.
But I'm in front of my computer. I never
You're in
left
front
it.
of your computer, but you can't see the screen.
Okay, what happens if I have the
What happens if I have dual
screen
monitors?
somewhere off to the side? Yeah.
What if I have dual
As
monitors?
long as you're watching it, you can reply to a dev or other
But
interactions.
nobody says that I have to reply to a dev or anybody else in the game. I don't see anywhere in the terms of
Didn't say
service
you
that says
have
I
to.
have to talk
I'm
to
just saying.
somebody.
There's also
Yeah.
nowhere in the terms of services that you can.
And this is how we derail the train quickly.
Yeah, no. There's nowhere, nowhere in the
in-
rules to say I have to talk to anybody if they come up and talk to me. I'm playing a deaf mute. I don't understand.
Yeah, and
Hello.
deaf mute.
Yeah. I'm a deaf
Yeah.
mute. That's my character. I can't hear anything in games, so I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
As a solution,
Well, you gotta
solution
think
to the
about it, you know.
gospel,
Yeah, it's gotta be
there's
fair.
a question of
You're breaking
Yeah,
my immersion,
there-
man.
for,
Breaking my
yeah,
immersion.
for people that actually level up on a gust ball. You know what would be really funny is that any skill that would actually puncture a gust ball should
puncture
actually
it.
deflate it.
An arrow.
Yes,
boom,
should puncture it.
pop the
So,
gust ball.
so if you use a
Fire.
sword,
I
even
like
a
that.
bludgeon, fire, all of those skills would actually puncture the gust ball, and so you'd have to resummon it, and then from there you no longer are
I
going
think
to have
you'd have
people
to trash it and
leveling
get
up.
a new one. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bigger
it
gold
would destroy
sink.
the gust ball. You have to go buy
Bigger
go
gold
buy a
sink.
new one.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I think there should be a target dummy of sorts, though.
Well, we were just talking
Well,
about that earlier. You know, we agree that there should be one up to a certain point. Another throwback to the Ultima Online days.
Yeah.
We actually have them in game, which is funny.
Yeah.
They
In
are
the
in
intro
several
scenes.
of the intro scenes.
But they are
right.
completely useless.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just slowly but surely we're getting there. We're getting all sorts of goodies, but certain things we got to look at and go yes. So some things we got to go and go no. Other things, yeah. Everybody's got an opinion, and what is the way you look at development is what is the least amount of people we're going to piss off today, and then we do that.
Yeah, something like that. And if you look at the time, we
Yes, I was
Don't
just
have much
noticing the time, and we did start a little late officially for the.
started late. I started on time.
Yeah. Spite me. Bite me.
Yeah, that's right.
Hold on,
Well,
something like that.
I've been saving this one for a
Whatever
while.
you're thinking, shut up.
Kendrick wants his bagpipes. I don't know how I want to respond to that. It's probably going to be very dirty.
Speaking of pipes.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to be able to handle this calendar today.
This calendar is insanely long for Tuesday, March 1st. Remember, all the calendar is provided by Avatar Circle, and it is a Google Calendar. So if you have a guild or if you want to participate on it, you can just connect with Kaizen Phoenix Fire, who is the administrator over at Avatar Circle right now, and he will be able to tell you how to connect those calendars. And then from there, it's also hosted over on NBNN.info, and then just click on the calendar button. Today is Tuesday, March 1st. Remember, all times are New Britannia time, which in the real world means that it is Central Standard Time. So today at 2 o'clock, we have the Paxlower Town Manager Hour, where you can go talk with Sean Silverfoot about all of the towns related to Paxlayer and whatever. If you're interested in listening to some Avatars radio, you do have Dr. DJ Selly doing his Faster and Louder, which is 70s and 80s guitar rock, between 6 and 8. While you're listening to Avatars Radio, you can always go over to the EVL Dungeon Crawl, which is going to be starting in Owl's Head right next to the Town Crier. Just show up at 7 and say, hey, I'm looking for a party for the Dungeon Crawl, and they will add you. And then y'all will go hunt somewhere. If that's not your thing and you want to listen to some 80s and more, you can always go join DJ Lady Addie for some 80s and more on Avatars Radio. And that's the entire calendar for Tuesday, March 1st.
Tuesday, March 1st. A whole lot of events. Now, again, historically, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, slow days around here. Again, this Thursday coming up, we have the Release 27 post-mortem with Lord British, Darkstar, and Drippy Dragon himself, Chris Spears. answering your
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
Some of which we were just reading there for everybody. On Friday, we've got NBNN sitting down to talk with the Master of Chaos himself, Starlong, aka Darkstar, and we're going to be going into some housing and taking a deep dive into housing, player-owned towns, lot choices, selection, all that good stuff, and anything else we can touch on after we finish with those topics.
We have
Meanwhile,
one last point to plug.
Go ahead.
Anybody interested in helping us with the initiative to help new players obtain new players to the game, contact Casey via the form.
yes, the new player initiative, that's what I was talking about with Jack. You weren't here in the room yet, but I don't want to really get onto that too much. There is a big initiative going on out there. Players are coming together to start a new player welcome type initiative, and we'll keep you posted as this comes out and unfolds and we see where it's going to go. And again, we'll update that when we have more news. Meanwhile, would like to thank our sponsors out there. Real quick, of course, Relics by Rill. Get all your licensed soda swag. Go out to relicsbyrill.com. Use the promo code NBNN. Get 10% off all your authorized swag from Relics by Rill. Go out to sodataming.com for all your taming needs. Go out to sodacraft.com for all your crafting needs. And, of course, Shroud Marketplace, man. Shroud Marketplace is starting to light up a little bit out there, Jack. And keep an eye out.
Yeah, the other day we actually had 2 different Hearth of Britannia cabinets. Right now we actually have only one person selling one.
So, some of those starting to come out of basements, I see. I like to see this.
Oh, yeah. And the cool thing about Shroud Marketplace also is a suggest a price feature for certain things. So if you want to suggest a price on something, that does actually enable you to do a little bit of haggling.
So a little bit of a bartering.
Yeah.
I know I've been asking about an auction out there, but I haven't seen any auction ideas yet.
No.
But I like the addition of the suggest a price. Allows people to dicker a little back and forth and go, hey, would you take this? Hey, would you take, gives people a little bit more flexibility and looking and going, I wonder if you'll take that. Now you can go out and suggest the price.
Yes.
And see if you can barter a deal while you're at it out there.
And if you do suggest a price and it is accepted, that will actually give you a unique URL. So if you are a vendor looking to sell something, you can always do that. Casey's saying that he has to run.
He's got to run, and so do we.
Yes, so thank everybody for watching, participating. Thank you, Kendrick. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Maynard. Thank you to Kush Lady, Knickknack, Roof Murder. Thank you all. Thank you, Justin.
You're all wonderful.
Thank you, Scrota. Thank you, Scrota.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
For the musical accompaniment through this show. We enjoy it, and Scrota's going to be doing this with us. Love having him as part of the team. Nice way to showcase the music in game. One of the great ways to showcase that, and that allows our bard Scrota to also play with it and have fun with it at the same time. So meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We started a little late. We're going to wrap it up a little late, but we got to run. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy wild happenings. Interview with Starlong coming up at the end of the week. Postmortem will be telecast live alongside of them. And we'll be back tomorrow for more updates here in Shrouded Avatar. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack. And Casey bailed.
And Casey Cupcakes left the building. Thanks for watching,
you guys.
folks. We'll see y'all next time. Stay tuned for more news from NBNN. I love you, man. I love this shit.
I love you too, baby.
Don't lie to me.
You know it.
You're not the baby's dad.
Who's your daddy, baby? Who's is your daddy?